Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know you're in. I'm everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Come on, up, 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 up. Up, come on, come on. Don't do that to your boy now. I see you. I see y'all. Oh, yeah.
Only you can set me free.
This is the breaking pro wrestling news. Club New Genesis Entertainment. Enter the arena. John Laurinatis. I'm the victim. Vince McMahon being betrayed already. People are flipping people power. It's the Don Juan affirmation, confirmation, deliberation, information, organization. It's 100% legit with Enter the Arena and the Don Juan Banks. Let's get right into a worldwide daily. Every day, day by day, brick by brick. The Don Juan Banks has returned as the #1 content creator in WWE history. Yes, that is absolutely true. Bigger than Sean Views, bigger than anybody, because why? I am simply the best. Now, we know the story. And I'm not talking about the Cody Rhodes story, but the Don Juan Banks story. Y'all know why I haven't been here. Y'all know I was sabotaged. But I ain't got to mention that person because they're no longer irrelevant. They're no longer relevant. We had to move on and leave that in the past. But the Don Juan Banks is right here in the present. And we're going to move right there to the future. Let me tell you something with this sex trafficking and sexual assault. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, Brock Lesnar, removed, erased, released, fired. You can say he quit. You can say Vince quit. You can say he resigned. You can put it a million ways you want. But the fact of the matter is, Vince McMahon for years engaged in this type of lascivious behavior, behind the scenes type deal with women. You know, it was a woman announcer back in the early 90s that was on Inside Edition or Hard Copy, and she had alleged that she performed fellatio on Vince McMahon. And with the steroid controversy, he threw Hulk Hogan right under the bus, and he had to go to WCW. With the Owen Hart tragedy, he blamed it on everybody except for himself. He divided the entire family so he could come up the winner in court. Owen Hart still hasn't been acknowledged in the WWE. That was over 20-something years ago. So do you think in your mind that Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who has millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, at the top, the mogul, the kingpin, the powers that be, is going to allow himself to go down that easy? No, he's not. He's going to try to tie this up in litigation. The non-disclosure agreements, the paid out settlements already to tie Miss Janel Grant, that's her name. And they saying so many women are coming forward now. And this is going to be a disaster for Vince McMahon. People are flipping. John Laurinatis is flipping. Brock Lesnar is flipping. Brock Lesnar is, let me tell you something. Listen, this is D. Don Juan Banks here. I need you to go into the description box of Enter the Arena and subscribe to Club New Genesis Entertainment. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because we are in a transition. We need to permanently be on another social media company because we were attacked viciously where resources were stolen, the servers were shut down, some of the technology was depleted, but we have a group of investors that fixed both of it up. They fixed Enter the Arena up to a point where you could get access to Don Juan Banks because everybody's looking everywhere. They need the real. They need the legit. And back in the day when I was on, you had a guy like Sean Views. He had his action figures and he would be in the ring playing. He blew all of his money, didn't even have his daughter, and he stayed on for 10 to 15 years. Don Juan Banks was out making executive decisions, having his own real estate, his own property, his own everything. I don't want to brag here because I'm not a bragger. But what I will tell you is this. You got to make sure you subscribe to Club New Genesis Entertainment because that's where I'm going to be. But the big videos, I'm going to release it simultaneously. Vince McMahon has been caught with his hand in a cookie jar. He trafficked women in the WWE. Janel Grant, she comes forward. She says Vince McMahon sex trafficked her. She's been sexually assaulted. She's been raped. She sent videos with urination. He dodged a bullet once and he left the WWE. Remember Stephanie came out and delivered that whole promo. They appreciated what Vince McMahon did and all things like that, but he ended up back. Vince McMahon came back and he got eliminated again. He had to get terminated again. He had to quit. He had to resign again. He couldn't dodge that bullet the second time. He screwed Brett. He treated wrestlers like trash. He wouldn't give the money to the right thing, but he gave it to the wrong thing, where he could sex traffic these women and pay off women for affairs and sex that he had. She said that Vince even wanted a threesome with her, John Laurinatis, and Vince. He leveraged her, all these allegations, allegedly, to have Brock Lesnar sign his 2020 deal. Now Brock Lesnar is being implicated in this. He's thrown under the bus. Sable wants to get a divorce. The company is being held in a bad light. Eric Bischoff said this destroyed Vince McMahon's legacy. His legacy is destroyed. He has been exposed. He has been erased. He's been removed. He's been released. He is terminated. He is done. Vince McMahon has been exposed for the pervert that he is. Pulling his pants down, calling people niggers. You know, this is what kind of nasty, stinking, disgusting man this is. I got the balls the size of grapefruits. Grapefruits. Balls the size of pennies. Balls the size of peanuts. Balls the size of grapes. But you're here with the Don Juan Banks. You better subscribe. Subscribe exactly to Club New Genesis. You will find the same videos and more uncensored. I'm back. Banks is back and for good. Because people were sick of the coverage. Yeah, I love Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette held it down. I know everybody out there, Eric Bischoff got his podcast, Vince Russo got his podcast, everybody got their podcast, but people want to hear the real. They want to get into it. They want to get in it deep. John Laurinatis says he's the victim. Damn it, I'm the victim, not a predator in Vince McMahon's sex trafficking lawsuit. He betrayed. He flipped on Vince McMahon. He did it. Former WWE head of Talent Relations, courtesy of KHIC, John Laurinatis is a co-defendant in Vince McMahon's sex trafficking lawsuit that was filed last week by former WWE employee Janel Grant. The lawsuit alleges that McMahon and Laurinatis engaged in sexual assault and trafficking of Grant. It claims there was an expectation from both McMahon and Laurinatis that she engaged with Laurinatis sexually, both physically and with explicit content, following her transfer to his department. And also claims there was a schedule of when she was to have sex with Laurinatis and other men. This is not coming from me. This is coming from KCIC. It's a reputable organization, both in and out of the WWE. The lawsuit specifically describes the incident where Grant was raped. She was raped. I know y'all subscribing. I see the subscriptions going through the roof. Even ENTERTHEARENA and Club New Genesis. Y'all... CM Punk, that's my man, CM Punk. The lawsuit specifically describes an incident where Grant was raped in a locked office by McMahon and Laurinatis, with them responding to her pleas to stop by saying no means yes and take it you be. You can read the full lawsuit here for a more complete description of the allegations. Edward Brennan, the lawyer of Laurinatis, issued a statement to Vice News today denying the allegations against John and asserting that he's the victim. Mr. Laurinatis denies the allegations in the misguided complaint and will be victoriously defended with charges against these charges in court, not the media. Like the plaintiff, Mr. Laurinatis is a victim in the case, not a predator. The truth will come out. Brennan indicates that Laurinatis is a victim who was following Vince's demands out of fear of negative consequence. He refused. He backstabbed him. He flipped. Read the allegations. Read the federal statute: power, control, employment, supervision, capacity, dictatorial, sexual demands with repercussions if not met. Count how many times in the complaint Vince exert control both of them. Look at this. It says power, control, employment, supervisorial, capacity, dictatorial, sexual demands with repercussions if not met. That Laurinatis claims to be the victim in a manner presumably means he might corroborate at least some of the allegations made in the lawsuit. It's noted in the article on Vice News that TKO Group Holdings and Janel Grant's lawyer did not immediately respond to requests to comment on Brennan's statement. So let me read this. The allegations. Read the federal statute: power, control, employment, supervisory, capacity, dictatorial, sexual demands with repercussions if not met. So he has officially backstabbed Vince McMahon. He's snitching. That's what this thing is. Get bit. This is sex trafficking. This is going to court. Vince can go to jail. As this is unfolding, we're finding more and more about this. Take that time. What I need you to do right now. Let me hit the music so I can give y'all a chance, because everybody's excited that D. Don Juan Banks is back. I'm going to hit this music. Why I hit this music for the next 10 seconds? I want you to go in the description box, click the link to get on Club New Genesis Entertainment. We got 30 subscribers so far. They found us out. And make sure you subscribe to Enter the Arena with over 40,000 subscribers. Yes means yes here with the Don Juan Banks. We're covering professional wrestling once again. Hit that music. I know y'all laughing out there. Remember, me and CM Punk are cool now. Remember, we did CM Punk The Hurt when we was on Professional Daily. And that channel got a flag down and terminated because they were so jealous of D. Don Juan Banks. They've been jealous of D. Don Juan Banks for so long. I tell you, even when we made our comeback, YouTube cut the video. Can you believe that? I'm sitting up here, I'm in my groove and live. No edits, no cuts, none of that. We do it live, worldwide, nationwide, daily, affirmation, confirmation, deliberation, information, organization. If it ain't legit, you're at a severe deficit. Too legit to quit. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit. Triple H wouldn't be nothing if he wasn't hitting Stephanie McMahon's click. You got to be in it to win it. Cody Rhodes talks with a lisp. Pull up if you're really with it. Pull up. Everybody's in the Enter the Arena chat room. They're talking. We're setting up the Club New Genesis. Join the clique. Join the club. Club New Genesis. Listen, y'all took that time to catch me on Club New Genesis. It's everything. In fact, when y'all want to know what happened with me all those years, it's on Club New Genesis Entertainment. You'll see all the videos there. It explains it, and it's uncensored. You see the Don Juan Banks uncensored. We're uncensored here, but you know what? I had to create my own social media company because YouTube and so many people tried to destroy Enter the Arena, but we didn't allow that to happen. But we're going to Club New Genesis Entertainment. You know what? When I tell you this, Vince McMahon is the one at the head of the top, and Brock is flipping. Laurinatis is flipping. You have wrestlers in the company and outside the company that's flipping. Errol Manuel of TKO is erasing Vince McMahon from WWE all entirely. You heard how Triple H was happy about it. He looked a little bit pissed, but he actually was happy because he's been trying to get Vince McMahon out the door for the longest, him and Stephanie, and now they got him out the door eventually. He'll never, ever, forever be with the WWE. He's ultimately forever erased. Triple H is done with him. Stephanie's done with him. He is a troglodyte. He's a hermaphrodite. He's gone. Brock Lesnar has been marred by controversy. This come MMA knockout. You got to hear this. Major update on Brock Lesnar's WWE feature and serious Vince McMahon allegation. He was just removed from that game, and he's been removed off of everything. Former exclusive chairman of TKO Holdings, Vince McMahon, has found himself out of WWE lawsuit filed by former company employee Janel Grant. McMahon and former WWE head of talent relations John Laurinatis and Brock Lesnar are accused of sexually abusing Grant. The lawsuit also alleges that McMahon shared explicit photos of Grant and a video of her urinating to an unnamed wrestler who requested it. The Wall Street Journal reported that talent in question was Brock Lesnar. As a result of the report and allegations, Brock Lesnar was reportedly removed from the Royal Rumble event this past weekend. Now Fightful Select is reporting that he may be never back in the WWE again. If that report's heard true, which is very likely given the circumstances, he will never be in the UFC again. Wow. Both UFC and WWE are now under the same umbrella, TKO Group Holdings, while UFC CEO Dana White has strong relationship with TKO CEO Ariel Emanuel. Ari is doing all he can to wipe away the negativity that McMahon has left behind, and that goes for TKO. PW Insider report that Emanuel might clean house when it comes to those who work closely with McMahon. That could mean doom for any remaining backstage WWE worker who was labeled a Vince guy, and may even be the end of Brock Lesnar under the bright lights. We'll keep you posted. So, did you hear that? You're a nation. We're hearing Laurinatis and Vince McMahon committed rape, and Brock Lesnar requests a video of Janel Grant, and I can only imagine how she might bend over in the toilet and put the cup or a pee, and Brock is getting his rocks off on this. And he's married to Sable, and she's locked in some type of house. You never see her. She's not in the Women's Hall of Fame, and he got her shackled. Remember, we always said what? Eat, sleep, bang, Sable, repeat, but eat, sleep, bang, Sable, and go with other women. Do whatever you want. Cheat. Ladies and gentlemen, when you listen to this, we talked about this for years. Even CM Punk come back and he's looking at this and he picked a perfect time when Tony Bottle Guzzling Khan couldn't use him the right way after he got in the backstage fight with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega got bit on his back. I hope he got a tetanus shot. Then he had another fight with Dirty Jungle Boy, and he won it in TNA. He won the AEW championship twice. And Tony Khan didn't know what to do with it because he had his billionaire father. He's a mark for this business. So you know what CM Punk did? After Tony Khan stepped up there and said he fired CM Punk, he went to the WWE at perfect timing, like the Don Juan Banks being back. And he see that Vince McMahon got his eventually. Vince McMahon, Triple H, they put him through a lot. But it was really Vince McMahon at the top. Triple H forgave CM Punk and he's back. Vince ain't never, ladies and gentlemen, he can go to jail. He can go to jail. You're watching this video. This is out of as long as you knew me in the 9 years and everything I've been through. We gave a certain individual the death sentence. Candace Moody, we gave her the death sentence. She's gone. She'll never be back. She's impeached forever. She didn't have the guts to sue the biological criminal father for child support after Don Juan Banks dedicated money, time, and effort to raising her son from 0 to 6 years old. She brought her son, once she was in the hospital and she delivered the baby, she brought him directly here on Enter the Arena, destroying you, alienating you, the fans, taking away the voice of the voiceless, the Don Juan Banks. I've even caught a flight to see her. I've helped the boy out there. I've helped her out, and she backstabbed me. I gave her the money to buy a PlayStation and a plane ticket, and she stole from the Don Juan Banks because she said she was flat broke. She went broke. And so while she was moonlighting, being the vice president and secretary of state of Enter the Arena, her 10-year disastrous run was marred with more division, less unity, a disastrous domestic and foreign policy, threats, lies, deceit, and conceit, oppressing every superstar of Enter the Arena and taking all Don Juan Banks' assets, the car, the money, the jewelry, depleting all resources, stealing all monetary funding in front of the YouTube public. She disgraced herself and she has been impeached forever. You will never see her again. So there's no point to even mention. She can keep the money. I view it as a donation. Y'all know I already made it back. Vince McMahon is done, ladies and gentlemen. He is done. He will not recover from this, even if he doesn't go to jail. He won't recover from this. This is worse than even what Donald Trump is going through. Vince McMahon is going to be found liable civilly, and he is going to be charged. And I believe, I can't say right now, will he win or he won't? But what I will say is when the people come out in these sex trafficking and these RICO cases, they usually get everybody who is involved that will flip. It didn't take no time for John Laurinatis to flip. It didn't take no time for Brock Lesnar to flip. It didn't take no time for all these women to come up front. It didn't take no time for Triple H, Ariel Manuel, Khan to erase Vince McMahon completely. And Brock and Laurinatis. What does this say? That there's a new Genesis. Don't you understand the mind of the Don Juan Banks, the mayor, the monarch, the governor, the writer, director, producer, entertainer, simply the best. We're going in a new day and age. That day and age of Sean View's Entertainment, getting up day after day after day, reading from a script, but doesn't have the innate ability, doesn't have the credentials. When you want somebody to do something, they have to have the credentials. If you don't have the credentials to do something, then you're not qualified. Sean is not qualified to do the job. That's why WWE has never enlisted Sean Views. But who was on UFC CM Punk to hurt? It was Don Juan Banks that was at the forefront. Who won against CM Punk? Now me and him get along greatly. He made the best decision in his life, and he delivered the best promo of his life after he suffered the torn tricep at the Royal Rumble from Drew McIntyre, the Future Shock. He came on Raw the next night and said that he might have bad luck. And we're going to do a video on that. Ladies and gentlemen, CM Punk came back. The Don Juan Banks is back. It's Enter the Arena. I know y'all love it so much. The fans told me they love it so much, and they subscribed so much. They said, They was watching wrestling on YouTube, and nobody, exception for Jim Cornette, because Jim Cornette is the best. I love Jim Cornette. He's not better than me, but from one king to another, I see you, Jim Cornette. But I'm better than Russell Talk. I'm better than everybody. And people have said, man, if we could just get Don Juan Banks back, we miss him so much. Even the people from the UFC, because UFC and WWE is together, the dream that I always had, it came to light. And people wanted me on screen, but I was held back in bondage by this sick woman. And her son is going to rip her to shreds like a piranha through Kentucky Fried Chicken. She's done. She's broke. And when I came on just hours ago, the ratings went through the roof. I'm telling you, because now people can appreciate the fact that Don Juan Banks was the director, that Don Juan Banks was the writer, that Don Juan Banks was the producer, that Don Juan Banks was the entertainer, that Don Banks was the architect. When you realize that Don Juan Banks has all these 6 degrees and he can jump from one field to another, if you want to be in your life and say the only thing you got above Don Juan Banks is the fact that you cover boxing, then that doesn't mean nothing to me. I'm letting you know that right now. It doesn't mean nothing to me. If you say you're the best MMA analyst on YouTube today, Tommy Razorstein, you got caught up in the snare of Candace wickedness, and you supported and harbored a terrorist of Candace, destroying a friendship of 17 years. So my perspective on everything is this. The people know the truth as time has went on, and they know that if I wanted to cover boxing, I would have been on here covering boxing. If I wanted to cover MMA, I would have been on here covering MMA. If I wanted to cover world news, I would have been covering world news. If I wanted to cover basketball, I would have been covering basketball. If I wanted to do something collegiate, I could do something collegiate. If I want to write a book, I can write a book. But just don't try to rip Don Juan Banks off for his talent that he has. Now the people know. People say that I stole from somebody and somebody done stole from me. Move on. She done stole my money, and that's the last time I'm going to be mentioning her, because I'll tell you one thing. I am so happy that I did not have no kids with that woman, because she cannot hold me down and say that she has the Don Juan Banks son. Never in a million years. You lost, broad. I'm back. Club New Genesis Entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. And subscribe here to Enter the Ring. I love you all, man. We're going to keep on going. I got a video about CM Punk in the bad luck, too. Bitch, you're going